Mhm.
Also, what are these? Are these gloves you're wearing? Like, what the hell? It's so
They're
strange.
like
It's like
fingerless
you've just
gloves.
been in hospital, like you've just been doing surgery or something, like or so, I
Why
thought it
would
was
I be doing
bandages. No,
surgery
you.
with
Sorry, I messed that up. I meant like someone did surgery to you, like your hands have been burnt or something. Like you've got bandages on.
no, they're like cool things.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
There's ice in them. Hello and welcome to Chapter 2 of the Ghost Book Archive. This week, our theme for all of our writing is mythical tales and creatures. I'm Ryan, and this is my co-host, Silver.
Hi.
So how are you feeling about today's theme of myths?
I originally felt very good about it, but after writing, I'm kind of like that went how it went.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly how I feel as well.
Yeah,
It was like, I thought, oh, it sounds like a really cool idea. There's a lot of
right,
stuff that I had, like, oh, I've got this idea or that idea. But then when it actually came to writing it, it was like, my mind was like, what are you doing? And I hated every single
right.
word I was writing out. I started again 3 times for the story. I started again like twice for the poem. Like
Wow.
it just didn't go so well.
Yeah, same here. I feel like the idea was good, but the execution not so good.
Yeah.
With
But
my stuff.
it is a fun topic though. It is a fun one. And I do like the idea of it. And
Yeah.
I'm sure that we're probably like I said this before we started recording, but I think
Mhm.
you will probably hear mine and be like, "Oh, that wasn't that bad," and I'll read yours and I'll be like, "Oh, that wasn't that bad." We'll probably think it's not that bad because we're both very self
Mhm.
critical. We both tend to
Yeah.
think our stuff is worse than it is. Like we both
Yeah.
do that all the time. Whereas
I
usually we
know.
find things in each other's work. We're like, "Oh, actually, no, you're just being ridiculous."
But last time I actually thought mine was kind of like okay.
Okay.
So, but this time I don't feel like
You don't feel like that at all.
no.
Okay. Well,
So,
that just makes me more excited to see it actually because I want to see if you're underestimating yourself or not. So
okay, yeah.
I'm curious to see.
Same. Do you want to start with the poems then?
Sure, we can go into the poems. Oh shit, I need to put them in the Google Doc.
Yeah.
Well, I just delete all the stuff out of the old Google Doc and we'll just use the same one.
Why would you delete it?
I don't know, just to make space.
Make space? Isn't there
Yeah.
like endless
Well,
space on
yeah,
Google
but
Docs?
just to keep it tidier, I meant. But if you don't want to, that's fine.
You tidy person.
Oh, little gnome, are you not at home? Oh wait. I should restart this because I didn't explain what we were actually doing here.
Yeah.
So for our poems this week, it had to be about any sort of mythological creature. We just had to choose a creature and then write a poem about it. We could make our own creature up, we could use a real one, whatever, but as long as it's a mythological creature, that's what we were doing here. And so I'm going to start now by reading my little poem. Oh little gnome, are you not at home? All I smell is rot, dust and chamber pot. Left in haste, all you leave is anxious waste. Your sighs may keep you hidden, but your power is forbidden. Lord Halgor wants you found, so I cannot mess around. Fate tells that he will find you, no matter what you brew. Strung up, lashed, and scarred, far worse than hunger, you'll be marred. The people are revolting, their anger is resulting in a chase through wood and field, their hearts with vengeance steeled. For in your spiteful glee, you cursed both land and sea. No crops to feed the young, no songs of harvest sung. Fields now barren lie, beneath a starving sky. Little gnomes so spry, with nimble feet you fly. You flee through darkened hollow, but shadows swiftly follow. Pursuit through night and day, their wrath won't fade away. Yet hope within you glimmers, in darkest moments shimmers. But little gnome, too late, you cannot change your fate. With a heavy heart you'll cry, as you face your time to die. Justice will claim you whole, no mercy for your soul. Lord Halgor's grip is tight, there will be no more chance for flight. In his gasp you'll dwell, a never ending hell. That
Wow.
was very long to read.
Yeah, but that was like really cool. I love the gnome. I really like
You know the reason
do
I
you
ended up
actually
doing a gnome? I had
Mhm.
no intention of writing about a gnome. I thought that was kind of boring and lame. Like I had no intention. Like
Mhm.
I was thinking that's kind of boring. Initially, I was thinking like a phoenix or like a
Mm.
minotaur or a centaur or like
Oh.
something cool. But then I was just searching. I was searching mythological creatures and I was reading a list and it came up gnome and I was just
Mm.
thinking in my head, what could I say? And I just thought, oh, and it just the first line, "Oh little gnome, are you not at home?" And I just got that in my head and I couldn't get away from it. And I went, you know what? I'm writing about a gnome.
Dude, but I like it. I don't think gnomes are, like, overused or anything. I feel
Yeah.
like they definitely can have more stories and poems about them.
Yeah. And I really wanted to make it as well. I didn't want it to a lot of the time I feel like people think of gnomes and they probably think of something that's kind of peaceful or nice. And I just wanted it to be
Yeah.
like a pest. So at first it sounds like maybe the gnome's nice, but then you find out, well, the gnome's actually done something and like it's causing people to go hungry, like it's cast a curse or
Mm.
some sort of spell, and now everyone's going hungry, and that's why they're after them. They're not just after the gnome because they don't like gnomes. They're
Yeah.
genuinely angry because this gnome's resulted in like people starving to death. So I
Wow.
I like to throw that little spin on it. But yeah, I was really intent on just doing the rhyme thing this time, which is I'm blaming you for that because last time you were doing really good with the rhymes, and I was like, I want to do good with the rhymes too.
No, but your rhymes are much better than mine this time. And
Well,
I
we'll
really
see
like
about that.
that you're trying to rhyme even though you think you don't do it well, but you
Mm.
really do. I
I
like
think when
the
I
rhymes.
try, yeah, I think when I
Yeah.
try, I'm okay at it. It's just I don't usually try to do it a lot.
Mhm. Oh,
Yeah,
but this, like, it read very well. Like, you could read this at one of those, like, poetry, like, performance things.
yeah, it does have a good flow
No.
to it. I mean, I was
Yeah.
stumbling over my words a few times there, but that's just because I've not really had much time to read over it a few times, like to practice it. But
Yeah, because you
yeah.
wrote it, like, right before we started
Right.
filming.
Yeah. Like 40 minutes before we started, I'm like just writing. Like, let's get this
Mhm.
out.
I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
had
"Hello,
yeah,
what's up?" And
yeah. I'm
you were
like,
like, "Ah, just give me a minute."
just give me a minute, please. I'm just trying to finish this. Please. Yeah. Um
Yeah.
and I purposely like I put in Lord Halgor. I was like, I need a name. I
Mm.
need like I just like throwing in it has to be some
Mhm.
name in there. I don't know
I
who
like
Lord
that.
Halgor is, but he sounds kinda mysterious.
Mm. You're good at naming people and things, I feel like. You always have
Hmm.
these, like, little fun characters and fun names, especially in your book.
James isn't behind you. Where's James? Oh, there he is. There he is. He's there. He's there.
He's right
Okay,
there.
there he is.
He's just hidden by me.
I was like, where is he? But yeah, no, I think I'm all right in names. Sometimes I feel silly about the names though. Like sometimes I'm writing names down and meow to you too, cat. Sometimes I write down names and I'm like, what am I doing? But yeah,
No, they're good. I like your creative brain. You have a lot of
mm.
good and unique ideas for stories and shut the fuck up, cat.
I definitely feel like this one was less depressing than the stuff I did last time. Like the last,
Hmm.
like I mean, there was still a lot of darkness there because this gnome's about to be killed, but it wasn't like as depressing and end of the world feeling.
Yeah, no, I kind of like it. It was more on the witty side
Mm,
of your writing. Your writing can somehow be a little like funny in the ways you use your like words and the names and everything. Even though it's kind of dark, it can be a little like witty and funny,
yeah, I
and
like
I like
putting.
that.
I like it sometimes when it's like something that's really dark or depressing, and then you just put like a little
Hmm.
witty spin on it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
It's not like funny in the sense that it's like a joke, but it's more like it's like
amusing.
amusing. Yeah,
Yeah.
amusing.
Well, isn't that it's like kind of being like a black comedy, like when it's something that's just like really like
Yeah,
serious or horrible. Yeah.
yeah,
It's like when
maybe.
you have a comedy that's set at a funeral or something, like it's dealing with a really horrible subject matter, but then it's like, why
Hmm.
is it and it's serious as well sometimes, but
Yeah.
then anyway.
Is there anything you want to say about this poem?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like I kind of covered it. I've not really had that much
Yeah.
because I wrote this so like not long ago. I've not really even had much time
Yeah.
to think about it myself. Like
Mhm.
I'm sure like an hour from now I'm going to be like, "Oh yeah, maybe that." Well, maybe
Yeah.
not because I'm thinking about other things, but like tonight I'll be lying in bed like, "Oh,
Mhm. I feel
um
like this poem was like, wait, I'm gonna collect my thoughts.
Is that how you do it? You like gather them in a little clump in the front of your head. You're like bringing them into the middle of your mind using your powers. There you go.
Mm, no, I was gonna say like because you wrote it like last minute. I feel like you were so stressed, and you also didn't have. You said you kind of um didn't know what to write or something.
Yeah, I was kind of struggling with this one.
Yeah, and I feel like
Yeah.
you just like kind of like squeezed out your inner brain juice
Yeah,
for
I
this.
felt like I was kind of just like farting out onto the paper. I was like farting, maybe the wrong word, but like I was like vomiting is better. That's still horrible, but I was just like
Well,
throwing it out there. I was like, "What's in my head?" I was like, "Little gnome, you're not at home." Oh, chamber pot, let's throw that in there. Oh, Lord Halgar wants you
mm.
found. Let's throw that down. Yeah,
No, but that's what makes it fun and good, I think, because
yeah,
it's just very you.
yeah. That's what I like when we do the little challenges as well. Like
Hmm.
because you only have like 5 minutes, so it's like anything you
Hmm.
think of is like down, write that down right now.
Yeah,
Like there's no time to think otherwise.
yeah. So you get to see the natural brain.
Yeah, which is a scary thing to see, to be honest. Well,
Yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes.
Okay, right. Let's move on to your poem.
Hmm.
Let's. I want to hear what this is all about.
Okay. Mine is much shorter, and I kind of did not do well with this one. So I kind of this is the prologue to the story actually.
Oh, so your poem's a
So
prologue to your story.
yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of a combination
Okay, I
with
like that.
the story.
Nice. Okay.
It's called Prologue. Deep and dark waters where the beast lay. Pier what? Pears? Not pears.
Pears. This beast eats pears. More of an apple
Pears.
man myself, but
Pears.
pears are all right.
Apple Man. That sounds like
Apple
some kind
man,
of
you superhero.
superhero.
Never forget the lemon manager.
Oh my god. He needs to come back.
That's going to be a theme for one episode, all about the
Mhm.
lemon manager. Anyway,
Oh my
okay.
god.
Your
Are
poem.
we gonna like okay. I'll just start over. I'll
Yeah,
just
start
start
over.
over completely. Okay.
Good idea.
Prologue. Deep and dark waters where the beast lay. Pearls tucked in their clams far away. Under algae covered stones, everything hides. Shells crushed by its feet with the changes of tides. A fire extinguished, but not by the sea. The rain made an enemy. What could it be?
That wasn't horrible. That was good. That was
It
good.
was?
I liked it,
Thank
and
you.
especially like I'm gonna like I know I'm gonna like this even more once I hear the story. Like I love that.
Mm.
I love that you've put those two things together. Like I like that you've done
Yeah.
that. I think that will actually help it as well. So like I think any worry you have about it not being that great. I mean, for me, like if I was you, I'd be like so happy that they connect to the next one because I feel like it
Mm.
lifts it up either way. I really like the final line. I think was actually my favorite. The rain made an
Really?
enemy. What could it be? Yeah, I
Mm.
don't know. It just sounded weird. It just sounds weird to hear that the rain made an enemy. I just like that sort of weird imagery. Like the rain
Yeah.
has an enemy. Like, can you imagine going outside and you're like, "Rain, we are going to war. I hate you." Like, that's
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Aren't a lot of people like pray for the rain to go away and such and make like songs
Yeah,
to like get the rain to go away? So
that's true. But would they
technically
really call
we
themselves
do.
enemies? Like, would you
I
say
hate
I'm
the
an
rain.
enemy of the rain?
No, because I like rain. But a lot of
Mm.
people are like, I hate rain. Rain
I hate
sucks.
rain. And that same voice, they use that voice.
Yeah.
Hmm. I've never heard
Yeah.
that before.
I
Um,
think they do.
Shells crushed by its feet with the changes of tides. I like that. Again, like you're really good with the imagery. Like I say this all the time, but like you're very good at making me like I'm just imagining this thing walking along and crunch, crunch, crunch. I mean, and the
Yeah.
perils tucked in their clams far inside, far away. I'm writing it wrong.
Far inside.
Yeah.
That's true
Um,
as well.
and even your first line sets that up really well. Like you're it just deep in dark waters where the beast lay, and it's like, what kind of beast are we talking about here? And I mean, I can see the title of your story, which kind of spoils it, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, you hint at it there. It's like a fire extinguished, but not by the sea.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Mhm.
I like how vague it is. Like I like that you're not just specifically saying what it is. It's like
Yeah.
there's
That's
some
why
mystery there.
That's why I wanted to combine it so that I could like make it a bit mysterious, like
Yeah,
the
and then elaborate.
prologue.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely drawn into hearing about your next one because of this. Like, it makes me want to hear what's happening next. Like, I'm really
Um,
curious. That's what it's really doing. Honestly, I think it works very well as a setup for something else because it is so vague. And I love. I mean, we spoke about this last episode, but we both really like vagueness in poems or whatever. What's in
oh,
there? What's
it
attacking you?
was like it was like a you know those not flies, but they have long legs and they're bigger than flies.
Like a daddy long legs. No, there's more
Yeah,
like
but
a.
I
That's
don't
more
like
like a
seeing that.
spider.
That's the spider, but those but fly version
Okay.
because the windows are open
Just the
because
way
it's
you looked, you
so
were just sitting
warm.
here and suddenly you were like,
Yeah, I don't like those.
you were like a cat seeing a laser pointer on the wall.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. Oh no. Oh no. Just me going random, very random.
You turning into a cat. Yeah.
I
So what was
have
going?
paws today.
Yeah. That those. Okay, furry, calm down.
Oh no. I'll take them off. Okay, bye.
Really? That bad? That bad? Is that such a
Yeah.
bad thing?
Yeah. Oh my
Damn.
god, it's back. Oh my god, it's big.
Get your
Jesus
cat to
Christ.
get it.
No, I keep telling her to get
Launch the
things.
cat at it. Be like, whoa.
I keep telling her, I'm always like, go get it, go kill it. And she's just like
Get it yourself, bitch.
staring at me like, yeah, staring at me like I'm fucking crazy. Which I am, but she doesn't have to do that, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of rude.
She wants to make you feel like an idiot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she does.
I can see her walking around behind you. Oh no, she's just repositioning herself. Okay. Maybe you should train James to get it. Maybe that would work out better. So
James.
yeah, what was going through your head when you were writing this poem? Like, what was the sort of? I mean, I don't want to spoil it before we move on to the
Mm.
next thing. But what was like the creature you had in mind? All was the same thing. Did you have that same creature in mind from the start, or was that something you decided later on?
Okay, the thing was, I just wrote the story first, but the first part seemed more like a poem.
Okay,
So I just split it.
okay.
Mhm.
So you took
Well, I
and
made
yeah,
changes after, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. But just the way it read kind of sounded poetic. So you were like, let's split that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that makes
Yep.
sense. Yeah. Okay. So you knew from the start.
Not really.
No, you didn't.
No, because I read it over and the start seemed more like a poem. So I split it up and changed a few things and made it rhyme.
So what would you say your favorite line was for your poem?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I,
You're so critical here. I actually like you think it's terrible. I mean, I think it's decent. I really like a few of the lines in there. Like I like the beginning. I like the end. I like the vagueness. I like the whole feel of
oh.
it. And I think, especially knowing that it's a prologue, like I
Mhm.
think after I hear your story, I'm going to be like, oh, the poem was actually really good.
Aw, that's sweet. Even though, like, yeah, I get it's not the worst thing, but I feel like because I wrote it feeling like, oh my
Hmm.
god, I just have to write this. It made it
Yeah,
feel worse for me. Like, made it
yeah, I
feel
get
like
that.
it was bad.
Yeah, when you have to force yourself to do something, sometimes it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't come out as well. Yeah, we both wrote these things a little too late in the week. We need to do a little bit
Yeah.
better at that. We need to get
I've
better.
been busy this week, so
Yeah,
I just
we will do
suddenly
better next time.
yes.
Meow.
Oh my gosh, she needs to quiet down.
I can hear her purring. I think. Yeah, it's almost like snoring.
Yeah, that's me. It's me snoring.
Uh, such a snorer. Do you snore? Do you know if you snore?
No, I don't snore, but I talk sometimes. But like not a lot, just like a yeah, or make like grunts.
Sleep talking is weird.
My friend says I do like grunts, like something.
Oh, you put your furry gloves back on.
I hoped you wouldn't notice.
Okay, I didn't notice. I'll pretend I didn't notice.
Don't break my heart.
Your icky bricky heart. I hate that I know that.
Everybody knows that.
Why though? I wish I didn't.
Yeah, me
I feel like
too.
so this week our stories aren't quite like they were the last time. This time, basically, we had a prompt, and so the prompt was write a myth about why it rains, which was well, as we said earlier, we both had kind of. Why are you looking around panicked?
I'm not panicked.
I thought you were panicked about
Oh
something. I
god,
thought
this
you
is
were. It's not focusing on her.
there.
There we go. She
She's
just
like laying. I don't
yeah.
know.
I thought you were
Ooh.
for a second. Just when you started looking around
Mm.
like this, I was like, have I just like said a prompt that you didn't have? Like did you
Oh,
misinterpret the
sorry.
prompt? I was like, oh no, have you
I was
written
just
something totally different? But no.
no, I was just distracted.
Yeah, just the ADHD brain.
Yeah, I was like, hmm?
Yeah, yeah.
What's going on?
Just literally a human cat. Okay. Anyway, so we were both to write a myth about why it rains. Um, meow to you two.
You too.
Yeah. And hey, you've just done your prologue. You've just done your
Yeah.
prologue, so you are going to get to go first now as well because I did the poems first. So I'm excited to hear your story, just leading on
Yeah.
from that prologue.
Okay.
So on you go.
On I go. So I named my story The Magma Consumer. I haven't read through this properly, so I probably will mess up a little, but yeah, I'll just start and see how it goes. There was a time before the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs! I can't even say that! The hair. Cat hair! Okay, okay, okay. There was a time before the dinosaurs walked the earth. I fucked up again. Okay. There was a. Don't laugh! Okay.
I'm just covering my mouth so you can't see if I laugh. That was okay. That's probably
Okay.
that's
Mm-hmm.
probably distracting, so I won't do that. I'll just
Good. Okay.
straight face.
Yes. Shut up. Okay. There was a time before the dinosaurs walked the earth. I can't even say
You
dinosaurs.
said it fine there. That
Dinosaurs.
was
No, I said
perfectly fine.
dinosaurs.
That was fine.
Okay. Okay.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. There was a time before the dinosaurs. I did it again! Dinosaurs. Am I Australian or what? Okay.
I
Okay, okay,
hope
okay, okay.
not.
Australia does not exist.
This is not my element. Reading out loud.
You're
Reading.
fine. It's actually you're not that bad. You just think you are.
There was a time before the dinosaurs walked the earth, where 2 million years went by under the spell of constant rain. The world was blurred by a cloak of constant mists. Stormy nights were all there was, as the sun had retreated behind thick dark clouds. The rain began by a result of tremendous amounts of magma seeping out from cracks in the earth, volcanic ash and acid rapidly turning the surface uninhabitable for most living things. The fumes from the eruptions, combined with the acidic rain, wreaked havoc in all the Earth's ecosystems. The lava caused rumbling fires that went rampant through the forests. As drops of toxic water hit the surface of the ocean and cascaded into a million. Below the surface, life scarcely withstood the battle against the climate. After thousands of years of constant downpour, a distinct organism began forming in the depths of the ocean. It grew as other life diminished. It started as a round speck, eventually morphing into a moving creature. The new species took its time perfecting itself, energized by the changes in the atmosphere. The creature was a magma consumer, created as a result of its environment. And so the earth had a natural enemy of the rain. The animal was not an amphibian, a fish, nor a mammal. Reptiles appeared to survive the new climate, but it was not a reptile either, as it wasn't made of flesh and bones at all. It consisted of stone and metal, being the only of its kind. Its insides were stronger than steel, a hard shell of stone covering its exterior, strong limbs wading through the terrain at the bottom of the sea, consuming gas and magma, growing as large as a whale, though with long arms and a mouth of steel which was shaped like a clam. Every part of its body was resistant to heat. Without a nose, eyes, or ears, using its hands to feel around for sources of heat, it would move onto land to feast when volcanoes were near, inhaling magma with its massive mouth. The rain lessened as it prevented the volcanic acids from reaching the atmosphere to feed the clouds, and it grew larger and greater with each meal. For thousands of years, it tirelessly labored to seal the breaches in the earth, unbeknownst to itself that it was saving the planet. Their efforts at last began showing fruits as they'd grown as large as mountains, consuming much larger amounts of gas and magma. The rain eased up, and the sun shone through the curtain of clouds hanging over the earth, the beams creating glimmers in the salt crystallizing on the cliffs. Flowers and plants budding, taking their first breath in the light of the sun. In time, the ocean and land ruled over the sky once more. The molten lava slowly turned to dark obsidian, leaving the saviors of the earth to starve. The creatures retreated into caves in the depths, their stone shells disguising them as reefs and rocks. They lay in hibernation, resting until the day comes where another volcanic outburst fills the world with shadow and rain.
That was good. That was good. And honestly, as I said, that made your poem way better. Your poem suddenly got like it stepped up at least 1 or 2 levels just because it connects so well to that. Like just the fact that there was a prologue and it was like nice and vague and it really did set that up well. This magma thing, like how wait, did you say how big these things were? Like I'm just imagining like these huge monsters. I mean, you're saying
Yeah.
it's grown as large as mountains. It was
Mhm.
basically like I'm just imagining these things drinking volcanoes like Coca-Cola,
Mm.
like fizzing up, like bubbling up. That's
Mm.
yeah, yeah. Just a
Maybe,
couple of these creatures
perhaps.
get together and they're like, yeah, let's go for a drink, and they're just drinking out the volcano together. I've just yeah, I love that image of like just imagining these creatures or this
Yeah.
creature uh
Mm.
consuming this magma consumer. That's not a
Mhm.
real creature, is it? Or is that's just like it's you just
I
made that
have
up?
no idea. I
Yeah,
made that up.
yeah. Like
You
you
didn't
get
say we couldn't.
yeah. No, I
I
said we
made.
could. Yeah, I said
You
we could.
said we have to like um write a myth about rain.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. And for the
this is a
poem as
myth
well, I
about.
said make up your own creature or use a real one.
Yeah, so I
So
combined it's a creature in the story, it's a creature
yeah,
and about rain. A
yeah.
myth about a creature and rain.
Yeah, I think it did go together very well.
Thank you.
I liked a lot of your early parts, like just about how it's kind of following on from the poem, just a bit like how it all started to form and the thousands of years of the rain and stuff, and just how it slowly started to
Mhm.
emerge. And I really liked your, I don't know why, but the one of the lines that stuck in my head,
Stuk,
stuck,
stuk, stuk.
it's stuck in my head. Um, but it was not a reptile either, as it wasn't made
Mhm.
of flesh or bones at all. So
Mhm.
now I'm just like imagining this really weird shaped creature. Yeah. What do you think it would be like to be a magma consumer? Like, what do you think it'd be a good life?
No, they don't have ears or eyes or a nose. They just have mouth.
How do they see where they're going? Is it they feel where the magma is?
Yeah, they have hands. They're like, oh, there's eat. Let's eat.
Yeah, so they can detect the heat.
Yeah.
They lick it up with their tongues. That's so big
With
fire
a straw.
tongues, magma
Yeah.
tongues. Yeah, someone
Mm.
should make a straw for these creatures. Like, we have
Yeah.
made you a straw for when you return next time. Here you go. Don't kill us. Did you have like when you started this? Did you have like did you know specifically? Yeah, I'm gonna do this thing with the magma, and like did you know where when you had the idea? So the idea is like um write a myth about why it rains. Like, what was the
Hmm.
first thing when you heard that? What came into your head? Like, what was the first thing you started thinking?
Um,
I
give
can
her a
hear,
sec.
I can hear your cat taking a shit.
Not again. Why is
Not
she
again.
always? She's doing her worst every time I'm gonna do this podcast,
Yeah,
and I'm
she's like,
just like, why? Why does she do that? I basically started just with some of the poem. Um, She's scratching.
She's
Good.
trolling you.
Okay, yeah, I started with some of the poem, like the pearls tucked in their clams far away and
Mhm,
such, and under algae covered stones, everything hides. I started with like those type of
mhm.
things. I wanted like an ocean themed like story, and then I like noticed that it seemed more like a poem, the start. So I decided to split them and also combine the sort of ideas with like the rain and the creatures.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool idea. You went a totally different direction, like, than I did. So, which
Really?
is really cool.
I'm
That's why
excited.
yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, when you first heard the prompt, like,
Mhm.
what came to your head? Like, what do you think when you think, "Why does it rain?" Like, what's the first thing you thought of?
Okay, I was actually thinking kind of hard about that because I didn't want it to be something like just too scientific.
Mhm,
Even though I did make mine kind of scientific, even still,
mhm.
because I based things on like real events that happened
Yeah, these magma
millions of
creatures
years
were
ago.
actually really in real life walking around on the earth.
No, but did you know?
Yeah,
No, but did you know before the dinosaurs there was a 2 million year period of just rain?
I didn't know that, no.
Yeah, so that's real. And I was like, okay, so the rain just went on forever, and what stopped it? So
That's
I thought about that, and I thought maybe something in the ocean, and I didn't want to go the Neptune way, so so I
fair.
kind of made something else.
No, I liked the direction you went. I like it. It was very much leaning into the sort of mythological thing. You genuinely did just you created a whole story. Like I could imagine almost a Disney movie. Like they use this little story and
Really?
that's the whole thing. Yeah, like you take
Hmm.
Moana or something and they're going to all like these little islands and it's like I'm forgetting all the character name, but you know what I mean. And it's
Oh,
like you're
true.
taking
They
this little
have
heart
volcano
thing.
creatures
Yeah,
in
that's
Moana.
kind of what I was thinking a little bit when you were reading this
Oh.
out. Just a little
Hmm.
bit I was thinking that way. Yeah, definitely reminds me of something like that. And I like that. I like
Hmm.
exploring those sort of mythical, sort
Yeah.
of grand things. Like it's actually a
Hmm.
huge event. It's not just a little thing. It's like a huge thing. I liked it.
Hmm.
Um, so you originally you were trying not to go too scientific. That was your first thought. You just
Yeah.
yeah.
So I didn't want to go like into the clouds and what the fuck they do.
Fair, yeah. I was trying to
Yeah.
avoid that as well. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be too Plus, like, I'm not an expert. I don't know exactly how that works, and I would have to be
Yeah.
sitting there researching it all. I mean, I've been told, I've been taught how that works, but it was so long ago.
Hmm.
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very based on real life though, if you go like thinking about how clouds work and how it rains.
Mhm.
But I did still go scientific for some reason.
Yeah, but
But
you
I
dived
read
into
about the
fantasy.
yeah, I kind of yeah. But actually a lot of what I wrote was like about like some of the things actually happened. Like the volcano thing, that's why it rained.
Mm.
Like cuz so many volcanoes like erupted, and that's why the rain happened.
Her
Okay, I'm
eyes,
distracted.
your cat's eyes were just like she was like an alien there behind you.
She's scary.
She
She's
was
very
yeah. It was
scary.
like laser vision was about to come and like just blast me through the screen. Did you have a favorite part of this story? Like you said you had no favorite part of your poem, but did you have a favorite part of your story?
I think near the end. I think the end is the best part cuz it let me kind of write in the way that I like to write, with
Mhm.
the beams creating glimmers in the salt crystallizing on the cliffs,
Mhm.
flowers and plants budding, like
Yeah.
explaining what's going on with the environment and stuff.
Yeah. I would agree. I was actually when you finished giving your answer, I was actually going to say I think the ending was probably I liked the start as well because I liked kind of how it was following on from the poem. I think I said that before, but I
Yeah.
did like the end as well. It came more back to what I keep saying about like all of the stuff you do very well, just about like explaining the sort of environments and describing that sort of stuff. And I think at the end you get to do a little bit more of that. So I would agree that was probably sort of the best part of your story. I love the description as well of I think I said this already, but the description of these things moving around and like when you're saying inhaling magma with its massive mouth, like that's I'm seeing that. I see it. I'm just seeing this huge horrific thing just there
Mhm.
just huffing in like a whole volcano or something. Like it's just yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
Mm,
really cool animated. I would love to see that animated.
me too. Anyone
Anyone? Yeah.
pick up the idea?
What about the name? Did you think a lot about the name of the creature? You called it a magma consumer, but was that just something that came to your mind quickly? Like, did you spend a lot of time thinking about that, or?
I did spend a while thinking about that. At first I was like maybe like guardian of the ocean, guardian type,
Mm.
but I was like that sounds like some guardian of the galaxy stuff. So I was like, well, maybe not. And I was like, okay, maybe something with magma, and then I was like magmation because that's like reptile and
Yeah, yeah.
all of those creatures that like the groups of animals
Hmm.
like its own group with the magmatians, but I
Yeah.
thought that sounded kind of stupid, so I was like, okay, let's just do the magma consumer.
Magmation. I kind of like that word, but I'm not
Magmation.
sure. I'm not sure I would have liked it in your story though.
That's what I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like the word, but I'm not sure. I think your story, it kind of, the simple like just magma consumer, very literal, down to earth. I think it worked for what you did. Yeah, so that's what we did. Your poem, we did your story. None of them were bad. So see, I was right. You were wrong. You're not terrible. You were
Mm,
just being too harsh on yourself.
thanks. I mean, yeah. It's just because maybe it got too boring for me. I mean, the
Yeah,
story is very just like this, and this, instead of
yeah,
like creative writing. And I'm
yeah.
more into creative writing, like, especially at the moment.
That's fair. I actually felt a little bit like that with my story, which we're going to get to. Like, I felt like
Mm,
I had the idea, but the way I had to write the idea wasn't like the most creative. You'll see when we get to it,
mm.
but I
Okay,
just
I'm
felt a bit
excited.
like I was feeling like it was a bit of a chore trying to get it all down. And I wanted it to be sillier than it was, but it wasn't. But yeah, magma
Yeah.
consumer. And you're again too self-critical. I would say, like, if we're comparing, like, I think definitely your ghost story, like from last week, I think it was
Mm.
better. Um,
Yeah, agreed.
but but that doesn't mean this one's bad. I think that what this one has the benefit of is the poem being connected to it. So
Mm,
whereas your story might like it might just be okay, I think it actually becomes pretty decent and maybe even good once you add the fact that you've got this poem attached. And the poem goes the same
mm,
way. Like the poem might have been a 6 out of 10, but it becomes at least a 7 out of 10 if adding on the other part. Like it's your like it does make they go together and they do help each other. They complement each other very well.
do you want to read your story now? I'm very excited
Not
to
really,
see
but
what
yeah,
you.
I will read my story.
Yay!
All right.
Wait, I gotta read it at the same time.
So before I start reading this, I just want to say that my intention here was not to bastardize Greek mythology for anyone listening who loves Greek mythology, because I kind of like Greek mythology, but I'm not like a super Greek mythology nerd. I know some stuff. I've seen a bunch of movies. I've read some stuff, but I'm no expert. And I was mainly just trying to use it as like a basis for where I wanted to start from. So just imagine this is like we're taking the bare bones of Greek mythology and putting it in like some alternative universe. And that's where we ended up with this thing. People will often tell you that rain comes from the clouds. They're not exactly wrong when they say that, but they are greatly misguided. Clouds, as you know them, are not all that they seem. For the truth of the matter is something far more sinister than your parents or school teachers would ever have dared to tell you. There was a time, long ago, when there were no clouds in the sky at all. Skies were always clear, and the sun would shine brightly on all the inhabitants of Earth. But one day things changed. Due to tragic wars, plague, and natural disasters, Hades felt overwhelmed by the sheer number of dead that were arriving into the underworld. His first instinct was to negotiate, and so he tried to strike a bargain with a coalition of other gods. But none were willing to work with him, not even the ferryman, who was responsible for carrying souls across the river. Not even the ferryman, who was responsible for carrying souls across the river Styx, granting them entry to the land of the dead. Hades was not willing to give up so easily, and so he took his complaint straight to Zeus himself. Just like all of the others, Zeus dismissed his brother without a second thought. That is outrageous, Zeus laughed in his face. Only the Lord of the Underworld is suited to bear this responsibility. Zeus's denial only served to infuriate Hades, making him all the more determined to get his way. And so then he hatched a plan that would allow him to strike back at his brother, all while still achieving his goal. The Lord of the Underworld sent out his minions to begin manipulating the minds of living men. Through his lies, people began to believe that the ferryman no longer required a fare to be paid before he would transport souls to the land of the dead. People of Earth stopped placing coins on eyes or under tongues when their loved ones passed away, and so the ferryman was no longer being paid. Of course, no fare paid meant that the ferryman would not transport the dead, and instead they were left to wander the banks of the river forever. But this was not sustainable, for although Hades had tried to reduce the number of souls entering the underworld, he did not wish for none to arrive at all. Finally, Hades was able to strike some deals. Though other than the ferryman, it is not known who else was involved. Some have whispered the name of Hermes, though that is entirely speculation. Dark clouds began to appear in the sky, much to the dismay of the god of the sky himself, who took it upon himself to find out what was going on. He discovered that the clouds were in fact souls, wandering and lost, floating high in the earth's sky. They were filled with intense sorrow, carrying the agony of helplessness. This ruined Zeus's perfect canvas, which was once so bright and full of joy. He began to fight back, purifying the floating spirits and brightening up the sky once more. The clouds began to leak water, and a lot of it. It was the only way he could cleanse them. When the cleansing was over, the clouds were white, bringing back life and joy to the sky. It is said that if you catch raindrops in a bucket and weigh them on a scale, the numbers will tell you just how much sadness was held within a specific cloud.
That was really interesting.
Yeah, that's what.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Interesting.
It was all set up for the last paragraph. It was all just set up for the last two paragraphs. I had this idea that I definitely wanted
Mhm.
the clouds to be like lost spirits. Yeah, and
Souls.
souls.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
I know.
I
Yeah,
love that.
my whole issue was just trying to work out how do
Mhm.
like I spent a lot of time trying to work out how we get to that point.
Mhm.
Like, why are
Yeah.
the souls in the sky doing that? Why are they
Mhm.
crying? And so it took me a while trying to work out just like where how like I had a whole plot at one point. I was thinking about maybe a genie's there, maybe some guy starts wishing something, but I don't know. I started just
Mm.
restarting. I restarted a couple of times, but eventually I just ended up deciding on kind of the Hades thing and the Zeus thing, and I thought, I don't know. Just when I think of myth, for some reason, my mind went straight to Greek
Mm.
mythology. Don't know why, but it
Yeah.
just did, and so I kind of used that
Mhm.
to go with it. But as you said, I kind of felt like it was a bit of a chore writing some of it, especially in the middle. Just the middle part. I was like, oh well, Hades
Mm.
had to go and talk to him, and then he had to go talk to him, and he had to sort that out, and he had to sort this out. And I only
Yeah.
had 600 words to write this thing as well, so it's like how
Yeah.
I couldn't put all that detail in, so it became a little bit tricky to try and fit it all together. Um, but
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
did
but
like the idea in the end, though, that the clouds were the souls, and they're being kind of purified by leaking their water and raining essentially on people. Um,
oh my god.
she wants to speak to the gods. She's like, I don't like
Mhm.
the rain. Can we get rid of this?
No, but what I was gonna say, I think this would have done or would do well as a longer story. Sort of
Mm,
like the first part is the start, and then the last part can be like the middle.
yeah,
That would be a very cool story if you added more to it.
yeah,
Cause I want to get to know the people more. Like, of course, 500 words. You
yeah.
can't like
One,
do
yeah.
much with that.
One
But
idea I
this was
actually
really
had
cool.
was I before I had it the way it is right now, I wanted to have it so that maybe there were already clouds in the sky, and then
Hmm.
Hades was going to be like paying people to stuff souls into the clouds that already exist.
Oh,
Whereas the way it ended up was more like, no, he basically was making the clouds himself, and like the whole idea
wow.
was he's made some deals, and he's that's why like Hermes
Hmm.
was mentioned because Hermes is like
Yeah.
I think he's a son of Zeus, and he's got like this whole connection with transporting people to the underworld. Like he takes them to the entrance of the underworld and stuff. So I was trying to like hint at like a sort of connection there. So maybe Hermes had something to do with how it all ended up, but I didn't really have enough space or time
Mm.
to develop it much. So it's kind of bare
Yeah.
bones.
Yeah, but that's like I think sometimes we're gonna write like a part of a story
Yeah.
for these podcasts
Yeah.
because limited the word count and
Yeah.
all that.
I felt like that was the case
So
last time as well. Oh, actually, no, your ghost story, I felt like your ghost story was pretty good at like having just that was it. It didn't need anything else. Whereas mine, I think I did something similar last time where it just sounded like we want to know more, like what's happening. Like it was like it could have easily been expanded into something longer. Uh, I actually feel like this one I've written would have actually done very well as a poem. Like I think this could have just been a
Yeah,
poem. Like if I just made it more
that would be
vague,
cool.
use a lot because there's a lot of things in here that could be turned into some quite cool imagery. Like I've not really got any imagery in here at all. Whereas like we're talking about how you do that so well, like describing scenes and stuff. I've not got any scenes here described at all. Like nothing has been described here. Nothing at all because it's all just writing out the actual like plot. It's like someone just narrating a plot to you, like a story, I guess, a tale. And that's the
Yeah,
way,
but
like
it's
in my head, that's the way it was. It was just someone's telling a story.
yeah, but it depends on like what kind of story you want to write as well, because sometimes it's kind of better to just focus on the sort of like the events happening and the
Mm,
dialogue and the people. So especially in short stories, you don't get a lot of space to
yeah.
bring in all the details you want. So if you have like an idea for everything,
Mhm.
it might be better to just focus on the people and stuff so that you get your ideas out.
Yeah. This whole challenge actually reminded me of the whole time we were doing it. I was thinking of it was a challenge I did on a holiday once with family. We did something called a bullshit challenge, and there was three of us who did it. And basically, what we did was we had 5 minutes each to tell a story, and we didn't get to hear each other's. But what we did was we went outside and we sat down in this chair, and someone else opened a dictionary, and they chose a random complicated word that they just hoped that we wouldn't know
Oh.
what it meant. And so then we had
Mhm.
5 minutes to tell a story explaining what that word meant, even though we didn't know what it meant. So we had to just make up what the word meant. And I can't remember what the word we had to, it was
Wow.
the same word we all used. And so basically I can probably show the video later, but it was like the three of us just sat down and it was very interesting to see where we went because it was just off the cuff improv. Tell us what,
Oh.
and so we just made up totally different stories about what this thing actually meant. And it was
Oh
really
my
interesting. And that's
god.
what this reminded me of. This sort of
Mhm.
write a myth for the rain or whatever. That's it.
Mhm.
That was constantly in my head because it was very similar. And I think it is kind of fun, but I feel like I didn't have as much fun with this as I wanted to.
Same.
Yeah.
I guess it's just stress and like actually taking the time to get into your creative zone,
Mm,
which I think we had a busy week.
yeah.
We still made it. We still got it done.
We
So
did. Yeah.
I think we did good.
And saying that as well, I actually feel like this specific like sort of prompt would have been very good for one of our little challenges or games as well. Like just you got 5 minutes,
Yeah.
not to write a full detailed story, but just to like get the ideas written down, and then like what
Yeah.
was your idea? You got 5 minutes.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah,
Like an idea game,
yeah, I kind of like
like
that.
write your best idea about this
Yeah, it doesn't matter how
topic.
good the writing is, but just
Mhm.
get your ideas out there. I feel like it's a really good
Yeah.
way to start like brainstorming things.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
fun. Should we do that today?
We could. For our next segment, we're going to be doing a little writing game. And so for this writing game, we are both going to be thinking of one word each pertaining to the theme of myths. We're going to take those words and then we have 5 minutes to write a little poem using those words. Do you have a word? I don't have a word.
Yeah, I have a word.
What's your word?
Claws.
Claws. That is a good word. I'm going to,
That is a good word.
my word is lie. Lie.
Oh.
Yeah, I like that. Are you ready? We have 5 minutes. Anyone at home listening, you want to try this as well? Set a timer yourself for 5 minutes and you can go along with us. Just pause the episode, do your thing, and then we can see what's going on. You ready?
Yep.
Let's go then. Now, I have an idea, but I have no idea how to write it.
I'm just not thinking. I'm just doing.
Yeah, it's done.
No.
Yeah, yeah. This is the worst. This is awful. This is truly an abomination. How are you feeling about this? Like, how do you feel you just did? Are you happy? Are you at least a little bit
No.
satisfied?
I don't know what I was doing. I wrote too many lines, I think, and I at the
Mm,
last 40 seconds I had to write two lines.
I
I was
just
like,
mine doesn't even it doesn't even appear finished. Like I feel like I just couldn't get
yeah,
this
neither.
done. I don't. I had the idea. I knew exactly what I wanted to write about, I just couldn't get the words out. I just couldn't think what to write. I just
Hmm.
couldn't do it. So I
Yeah, I had a lot
yeah.
to write, but it didn't execute very well.
Yeah. They were both dangerous, but for totally different reasons. Yinsa ripped men to pieces. Her claws made any razor appear dull. But Krenloy twisted minds. His lies drove men to madness. That's it.
What?
That's it.
That wasn't bad. No, that wasn't too bad.
Oh, I had my
I
whole
think it
thing
was
was I really
nice.
wanted to like obviously lies and closet self-explanatory, but I had the idea it was like a
Hmm.
couple or it was like two people who were like together or something,
Oh.
and they were both dangerous, but I wanted to hit home on the idea that they were actually equally dangerous, even though all he did was
Mm.
lie, whereas she actually had claws. And I wanted to like try and push that maybe even he was more dangerous because like his lies were so horrible. But I didn't really I
Hmm.
didn't know how to quite put it out. And then the names as well were
Hmm.
throwing me off. Like I was like, oh, should I just say like I didn't know how to start it. I was like, do I need names for these people or am I just gonna like he and her? Like I didn't know what to do. So I just
I
ugh.
like when you use
Yeah, I
names.
feel like it sounds a little bit
That's
better when you
what,
do that. But
yeah, that's what makes your stories and poems unique.
yeah.
I feel like.
No, I kind of had an idea there, but no, I just I didn't execute that for sure. I wasn't happy with that.
Oh, I think it was fine.
I mean, it reads fine, but
Hmm.
it's kind of dull. I don't know.
You wanted to explain it better, like with the ideas you had,
Yeah, I just wasn't
like.
very. I felt like I wasn't
Mm.
able to get my idea actually written down. Like I had
Mm.
ideas in my head, and I just feel like I wasn't able to get the words out, which is frustrating.
Okay.
Okay, so let's hear yours. Let's hear what you got.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay, okay, okay,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
The lie broke with each scratch, prodding at the cage's hatch. Its unusual appearance only heard of in tales. All around the enclosure, the faces pales. Its claws out for blood. A man comes out with a steel rod.
A man comes out with a steel rod. What the fuck is that all about? What the hell? Okay, right. Your first line was fantastic. I was like,
Yeah.
I heard the lie broke with each scratch. I thought, oh, this is going to be such a great poem. I was like, immediately, that line is better than anything I wrote. That was really
I
good.
should have stopped when I was doing good
Prodding
instead
at the
of
cage's
adding the
hatch,
two.
also good. Unusual appearance, only heard of in tales. All around the enclosure of the
Mhm.
faces pales. That was all really good. I think you should have ended there. Your final
I
two lines.
know.
What?
I know.
Yeah, that
No, but I had to include the
his
claws.
closet.
I have
Oh
cat
yeah, you
hair in my
hadn't really
face.
mentioned them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but scratch. I mean, you
I
implied it. You didn't have to use the word specifically.
I wanted to use the word,
Mhm.
but yeah, it kind
Yeah,
of
it's mainly
went
that last.
bad.
It's the last line that's horrible. The closet for blood's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. It's the last one.
No, but okay, I'm
I'm
gonna
just
tell you
oh,
what
the
I was
steel rod.
thinking.
What like Wolverine because steel claws or something?
No, no, no. Listen, okay. What I was thinking for this is that this mythical beast is caged and captured, so people like are like viewing it like some kind of like
Like a zoo, yeah, or
circus.
a circus. Okay.
Yeah, zoo. And so the man is coming to like beat it because it has its claws out for blood
Oh, I see. Steel
with a
rod.
steel rod.
Okay, I'm just.
But I was kind of
It
scrambling.
just sounds so
Like,
dirty.
yeah, I know.
Comes out with this.
I realized, dude, I realized just when the timer went off, and I was like, now I can't do anything about this.
Jesus Christ. That's actually
Yeah.
hilarious. I love that. But it makes more sense now that you said that. I get it now.
Yeah, I had to
A
explain because
man comes out. I mean, it still does sound weird. He just comes out with a
it's
steel
weird.
rod. Yeah. I don't know why my mind was like going to Wolverine or something. Like, are you trying to do something like that? Like it's a
Mhm.
man with claws or something. Like, I don't know.
No, like a
Yeah, yeah,
rod.
yeah.
You know, like a rod.
I know. But I just, ugh,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yours was better than mine
enough of
though.
that.
Yours was good. I liked it. Other
No,
than the
it
last
was fine.
line, yours was actually good.
I always fuck up at the last line, I guess.
Yeah.
I need to do
Hmm.
better.
Yeah, I've not been doing good at the endings either. For
It's
the
because I get so stressed and I have little time, and then I'm just like, oh shit, I just gotta finish and do something.
I honestly think yours would have read and been really great if you just took off those two last lines. I know you wanted to use the word
Yeah, I
clause, but
know.
it would have been
Yeah,
honestly fine with those 4 lines.
I know. I should have just done that,
Yeah.
but
But
I
I love
thought
the
I
lie
would
broke with each
do.
scratch. I really like that line. That's a really good line. The lie broke with each scratch.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you.
That may
Do you
be.
want to read yours?
I already read mine. Mine was a horrible one.
Oh no, I meant the horrible one. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
you
so
already read
forgettable that you
this.
were like, let's move on.
No, what I was thinking
Mm.
was we're going to do the
Ah,
next
that's what we're going to do. We're
challenge.
going to do the next challenge. I forgot
Mhm,
about that.
mhm.
Okay, we can do that.
Hello.
Hello.
That's like the line you would say. If you have one word, you could say like the rest of your life. It would be hello.
You think? I hate the
You
word
just go
hello.
hello, but you say it all the
Hello.
time.
Do I?
You say it all the time.
I'm
Yeah.
never saying hello ever again in my
You
life.
say hello to everything, everyone, and
What do you
everything.
mean everything?
Most yeah, everything. You're like you walk up to like a gum on the floor, and you're like hello.
Hello, wee bit of gum.
Exactly. That's exactly what you
This is a
do.
lie. This is slander, and I'm going to be suing you. You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
Lawyer.
Yeah. Anyway. Right. So this game.
This game.
This game. Hello, game. Right. What what we're doing here is basically, I have just done a little search. I have found a mythological creature that neither of us know what this thing is. I don't even know how to pronounce this word I'm about to say. I don't know what this thing looks like. I don't know what type of animal it's from. I don't know where it's from. I don't know, like, maybe someone's even lying to me. Maybe it's not even a mythological creature. Maybe someone just wrote that on this website. But so it's called a fomorian. I'm going to spell that out: Fomorian. A fomorian. I don't know what the hell that is, but basically the aim of the game, hopefully you guys don't know what it is either. And if you don't look it up yet. So basically the name of the game, we're going to have 5 minutes and each of us have to write down what we think this creature would look like, what we think this creature would be. Like, just write anything you can think. Like, it doesn't. We don't have to do specific things, but like if you want to write about what it eats, you write about what it eats. If I want to write about if it can fly, I can write that. Like, just write whatever you think about this creature. Describe the creature as best you can within 5 minutes, and then we're going to discuss what we both wrote down. And then we will find out for sure what it actually was, because that'll be interesting as well. And so if you want to join in, set your timer
Yep.
for 5 minutes. For far. If you want to join it, I feel like I'm coked up right now. I don't know what just happened. Like, there's
Yeah.
been a sudden change within like the last few minutes, and I'm just like full speed. But yeah,
Full speed.
full off speed for sure.
Mm-hmm.
5 minute timer.
Speed.
Ready, steady, go. What the fuck is a femore?
I'm just starting to write and seeing where it goes in my mind.
Okay.
This is going strange ways.
Mine isn't going that strange. I would like it to be stranger. How do you think that went? Do you feel like you wrote something interesting, something nice?
I don't think it could ever be like this in real life.
Okay.
It's definitely not. Maybe I got some parts right because I added a lot of details to this thing. I'll just read it
Okay, go
and
for
you
it.
can
Yeah, we'll
you
we'll,
can
we'll
think.
hear what it sounds like.
The creature burrows underground, large hands like a monkey's, but its feet are like the talons of an eagle. Its small head with no neck protrudes, a bald head with patterns and speckles, almost snake-like as its tail. It digs holes to catch its prey and eats with a teethless mouth, its gums crushing insects and mice alike. On its back, brown hair is scattered, ending at the base of its lower back where the reptile tail grows.
Ooh, I like that. I like how you combined a lot of like different animal parts almost together to make that one little monster. I feel like it's like Frankenstein made that. Like, you're like in your little lab. You're like, yeah, you're just like a mad scientist. You're like in a little lab. You're like, what animals can I combine? Let's grab a snake. Let's grab a monkey. And you're just like cutting, like just doing some transplants, putting it all together, and that's what you made. That's pretty cool. Um, yeah,
Yeah, like aren't mythical creatures often like
a lot of them are.
combined
Yeah, a
animals?
lot of them are.
So I went for that, and maybe I got some animal parts right.
Yeah, I like the large hands like a monkey, but the feet are like a talons of an eagle. That's pretty cool. And the burrowing underground, I like that aspect of it as well. And the teethless
Mm.
mouth, that the gums crushing insects and mice alike. That gives me a really. I don't like how that I feel when I say that out loud. I'm just imagining this
Yeah.
thing with
Mm.
with a mouse. Like,
Mm.
oh, the insects aren't as bad for
Yummy.
some reason, but the mouse must have a really strong jaw if it can do that. Brown
Yeah.
hair scattered. Yeah, I like that. That was a good description.
Okay, I want to hear
Yeah,
yours.
so I went the same sort of direction with you, like thinking like some sort of not quite monkey. But I'll read it. You'll see.
Mm.
So I said a fomorian is a small rodent-like creature. It is hairless and it only has two. Sorry, and it has two silky smooth wings that are great for gliding. They are very agile, but not very smart. Fomorians have been known to drown while attacking their own reflections in the water. They have large facial features that look obviously too big for their faces. They would only be seen as cute in an ugly sense. Their diet their diet mostly consists of tree bark, which is unfortunate considering their bodies are very bad at digesting it. Fomorians often spend days with stomach aches, unable to move after eating. This is why they only tend to eat about once every week. That's all I wrote.
Wow.
uh,
Oh, I like the way you describe things. Like, actually, it's behavior as well.
yeah.
I don't think I included a lot of behavior,
Yeah, you were very in
but I
on
like
the
the,
details of the appearance.
yeah, the one where you said about it
On the
attacking its
reflection. Yeah.
reflection.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I like
Yeah, I was
that.
just thinking it's kind of stupid. I was like, it's not quite aware, and so it's actually they've been known to drown trying to do that. And then it also like they're kind
Mhm,
of stupid. Like they're eating the one
mhm.
thing they always want to eat is a thing that they can't even digest, and it's just like constantly.
Like koalas.
Yeah, well, at least
Is it
yeah, it's
koalas
koalas can.
or
Yeah,
sloths?
well, I think it's koalas. They only eat, is it eucalyptus leaves? But the
Hmm.
problem is they do eat those and they're fine. But it's that they're really stupid. Like they can't identify. Like if you gave them a plate of eucalyptus leaves, it wouldn't know, and it would just
Hmm.
starve to death instead of eating them. It has to go like pick them itself.
Wow.
I think I don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, but I was kind of thinking the same as you when I first thought. Like I almost said monkey, but I
Hmm.
said small rodent instead. So I think we sort of had that same like
Oh,
base sort of
yeah.
idea of like a small,
Animal.
yeah, something that's good at climbing or flying, or we
Hmm.
both had that sort of idea. So we definitely
Yeah.
were the same there. But then we kind of went opposite
Hmm.
directions after.
True.
Yeah, and I definitely went way more in on the behavior, whereas you
Yeah.
expanded on how it looked.
Behavior.
'Cause I didn't really describe that
I
much of how
like
it
that.
looked, but yeah, but that was fun. But I'm
That
excited
was
to
fun.
find out what this thing actually is. So, are
Yes,
you ready for this?
please.
I think it's Irish history. Oh my god, this okay. So I'll put a picture up when I'm editing this, but
Oh my god, what
yeah,
is
these look
that?
like ogres or something.
That's not an animal.
Yeah, it's not an animal at all. I mean, it's a mythical
We
creature.
missed.
I mean,
We
yeah, the thing we're
missed.
looking at, they've got like horns and shit. Like these things are like some
Hmm.
of them I'm seeing here. This thing looks like a troll or an ogre or something.
They're cute. I want it.
Some of them are furrier than others. It looks like there's like some really
Hmm.
different options for this. I'm gonna a minute. I
Yeah.
want to get like an actual definition of this.
But they all got teeth, so I missed on that one. They don't have
True.
gums.
Right, wait a minute. So Wikipedia says Fomorians, um, a Fomorian are a supernatural race in Irish mythology, who are often portrayed as hostile and monstrous beings. Originally, they were said to come from under the sea of the earth. Later, they were portrayed as sea raiders and giants. They are enemies of Ireland's first settlers and opponents of the Tuatha De Danann. I don't know how you say that. The other supernatural race in Irish mythology, although some members of the two races have offspring.
They all have sharp teeth, though, and like pointy
And they're
ears.
all humanoid, is probably the thing. Yeah, they're
Humanoid.
all humanoid.
Yeah.
They're all humanoid.
So we both went like the animal
We did.
way,
We did.
but it was not.
Yeah. But it was still fun. I like that. I like that. We need to do
Mhm.
more little challenges like that. I would like to do more like that. Those were fun. And for anyone watching, you can check out our Discord and you can leave your own versions of these little challenges if you were doing them along with us, and you can post your own versions in our Discord server. Along with if you decided to maybe do your own version of the stories and poems that we did earlier, you can feel free to go to our Discord server. You can read our versions in full and also submit your own.
Thank you for watching. Hope you tune in next week as well. We're making an episode every week with different themes and lots of writing going on. Bye.
Tune in next time, or else.
Or else
Or else I will be very sad.
I'll be disappointed in you.
Or else I will be disappointed in you.